Welcome to the White Glove demo for Steam, Rails to Riches. No, wait, Glover. Steam refers to the golden age of railroads, not, actual steam. I know that you don't like steam. We had you on that drying rack for almost a week. Steam features a two-sided map. Depending on the number of players, you can play in the northeastern U.S. or the Ruhr Valley of Germany. For your first game, randomly determine the player order and place one piece from each player on the turn order track. Also place one disc on the 1 of the locomotive track and the 0 spaces of the income and victory point tracks. Give the player in second place on the turn order track $1 to start the game. The player in third place gets $2, and so on. Before the game begins, you place cubes drawn from the bag on each of the cities on the board. Each city shows how many cubes it starts the game with. The color of the cube shows the color of the city that you must deliver it to for points. For example, red cubes want to go to red cities. You also place cubes on each of the goods supply spaces along the left of the board. These are cubes that can come into play later in the game. Now we're ready to begin. Anytime during the game when you need money, you may take out a loan by moving your income marker down one space on the income track for $5. Being negative on the track at the end of a round means you'll be paying the bank money, and positive means the bank will pay you. You take action tiles as the first thing during a round. There are 7 of them, and each gives you some kind of game advantage. They are also numbered, and the lower the number, the earlier you will be in the turn order for the next turn. We'll go over what each action tile does later as we cover the other parts of a round. After taking action tiles, players will build track in player order. If a player took the first build action, they get to build first, then everyone else in player order. You may build up to 3 track tiles on your turn. If you took the engineer tile, you may build up to 4 tiles on your turn. The basic rules for track building are simple. You must start track at a city or be able to trace back to a city with track you own. You can build track on more than one place on the board on a turn. Mark your track with a token to show that you own it. The goal is to connect cities, the colored hexes, to towns and other cities in order to deliver cubes. The more towns and cities a cube goes through on its way to its destination, the more points it is worth. You may go through towns and cities equal to your locomotive level to deliver a cube. So, at level 1, you can only deliver cubes 1 city away for 1 point. The locomotive action is one way to increase your level. For $4, plus dollars equal to the level you are going to, you may increase your loco level 1 step. If you do not connect to a city or town with your track on your turn, it's called an incomplete link. If you don't add more track to it by the end of your next build turn, you lose it, and another player can build onto it to claim it. Basic track costs $2 to place on the board. You pay an extra $1 if there is water on the hex you are building on, and an extra $2 if you are building on a hill hex. Towns have special track pieces and cost an additional $1 to place. You may replace track to build around or through a space where track already exists. Track costs $1 for every hex side with track coming off of it, and $1 for the town symbol. This tile costs $5 to place. That's an expensive track turn, Glover. 2 of the action tiles are resolved during the build phase: urbanization and city growth. Urbanization costs $6 and lets you change a town on the board into a city, whether it has track or not. Choose from the remaining new city tiles and choose any one set of cubes from the goods supply area. City growth lets you add a set of cubes from the goods supply to one of the starting cities on the board for $2. You mark the city with a token as well, as no city may have city growth applied twice. Urbanized cities start with the token on them and cannot have city growth applied. Once all players have built, you deliver goods. You have the chance to deliver goods twice per turn. Instead of making one of your deliveries on your turn, you may choose to increase your locomotive level by 1 level for free. Deliveries are made in turn order, with all players making a first delivery and then making a second delivery. If you take the first move action tile, you make your deliveries first in the order. When you make a delivery, you show the path you take and then remove the cube from the board. You receive 1 point for each city or town you go through, including your destination, if you use your own track. You can use your opponent's track as well, but you give them points you earn for each track link between cities you travel on. Here, Glover would get 2 points and give 1 point to Blue. Yes, you have to give Blue a point, Glover. Points can become either income or victory points. If you take your points as income, slide your income marker up as many spaces as points you earned. You can't split your points between the two tracks, and you can't pay money to go up on the income track. If you take your points as victory points, move your token up for the points you earned. Next, players either earn income or pay expenses. If you are negative on the income track, you pay the amount shown on the track to the bank. You might have to take out a loan to pay. If you are positive on the track, the bank pays you as much money as shown on the track. Finally, to end the round, reorder the turn order markers based on the actions players took. The player who took the first player action finally gets the advantage of being first on the next turn. You play a number of rounds determined by the number of players. At the end of the game, you get 1 victory point for each completed link of track you own between cities and towns. You also get 1 victory point for each 2 positive steps on the income track. And you lose 2 victory points for every negative step. That's an introduction to Steam, but there is an additional way to play, additional pieces, expansions, and maps on the way for the game. In fact, we hope that you'll love the game so much you'll need a Steam room to hold it all. No, Glover, not a real Steam room, a room to keep your Steam... Oh, never mind.